Hey, good morning, everybody. So I am here to talk to you guys about social media best practices today. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into that, and then I will save a little bit of time for you guys to throw some questions into the chat box. So if you have any questions when I'm done, definitely make sure you put those in the chat, or as I'm going, throw them in there. I will keep an eye on that as well. So let me get my slideshow up here. There's baby. Sorry. And I will also try not to talk super fast because I have an issue just talking myself to death. So we will try not to do that. Okay, so social media best practices. So we're going to go over the different social platforms and engagement. We're going to go over video creation. We're going to look into podcasts. We're going to talk about emails, keywords, hashtags, and then I'm going to give you guys some resources. And then if you guys want this slideshow, you can definitely have it. I'll share that with you guys as well. So there are so many social platforms out there. There's, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Snapchat, TikTok, WhatsApp. There's, millions and millions. These are kind of the ones that I recommend that agents are on. So Facebook and Instagram, YouTube, Google Business, and LinkedIn. Facebook and Instagram are really pushing reels and stories right now. So that's going to be kind of a really big trend this year. I think it's been big last year too, but I think Instagram especially is really pushing content with reels. And then one of the things that they are kind of pushing a little bit more on Facebook and Instagram is going to be original content. So there has been a lot of people that have just been using audio clips and duplicating sounds and things like that and redoing videos. Instagram has said that they are going to stop pushing that as much and they're going to push more original content. The reason for that, I don't know how much you guys keep up on news media, but the reason for that is a lot of influencers are moving away from Instagram because their original content is not getting pushed through as much as kind of those duplicate videos and things like that. So they're trying to keep their influencers on there, so they're trying to put more original content. And same thing with Facebook. One of the things that I want everybody to remember when they are posting to Facebook and Instagram is less is more. So people's attention span is getting shorter and shorter every day. So those 10 to 15-second clips are going to be your best friend. And make sure you have something, and we'll go over this when we talk a little bit more about videos, but something that really hooks in your audience at the beginning. A really good trend, and again, we'll talk about this a little bit more, is starting at the end and then kind of segueing into the beginning so it kind of hooks people. And then there's kind of a debate on 80-20 or what I like to call the law of 1/3. So 80-20 is 80% your business, 20% about you. I prefer to use what I call the law of thirds, which is 30% business, 30% local area, and 30% personal. I think that's a little bit more effective with real estate from what I've seen, just because one of the big things that you want from your real estate agent is to know that they know the area that they're buying into or they're moving to. But 80-20 has been a really good standard for a really long time, so I don't think either is wrong. But just make sure that you are putting some personal and local content and it's not all just your business. People want to feel that they can connect to you and that they know you. YouTube is going to be a good platform for those longer videos. So those informational videos that are going to be, a few minutes long. That's where you're going to want to put those. That's where you're going to want to share your longer listing videos and your touring videos. And it's a really good platform to just talk about any sort of knowledge that you have. So that's going to be, talking about staging or talking about, what a home buyer needs to do to get ready to buy. Those kinds of things are great videos to put up on YouTube. All right. So Google Business. This is a big one. I know we've been really pushing this over the last year. The biggest thing you need to do on Google Business before you do anything else is get verified. If you're not verified on Google Business, you won't show up. So any of those posts, pictures, anything that you do on your Google Business isn't going to show up to anybody. So getting verified is the #1 thing that you need to do on Google Business. The next thing you need to make sure you're doing is posting regular updates. So whether that's posting a blog that you've shared or that the company shared, or just sharing a picture of a new house, or um, sharing an informative infographic, something like that, I recommend once to twice a week. Google Business's algorithm kind of drops things off that are older than 7 days. So just kind of remember you have 7 days, and then you need to be sure to post something again. They also really promote profiles that have more photos in their albums. So make sure that you have uploaded a lot of photos. I believe the standard is around 100 photos if you can get them. So any of your old listings, photos of yourself, just photos, 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 photos. And then the other thing to be sure you do with Google Business is know the rules. They're pretty particular about posting updates that have phone numbers, addresses, anything like that in it. So that makes it a little bit tricky. So just make sure that you know the rules in Google Business. You can reach out to me if you have any questions, and I'm happy to help you with that. LinkedIn, I think, is going to be one of the biggest platforms that we have coming up this year. I don't think a lot of people are using LinkedIn as much as they should be. But from what I've been reading, a lot of influencers are getting on LinkedIn and making it more popular. So it's not just the connections for kind of business and the kind of stringent way it used to be. It's becoming a little bit more of a social platform. But it is still a good platform to show off your knowledge. It's kind of, I like to think of that as kind of an interview platform. So it's kind of where you get to show off who you are as a person, what you know. Writing articles is really great on there, or sharing videos, knowledge videos. That's also great. And it's just great for building business connections in the area. But I think a lot more people are going to be using LinkedIn over the next year. I think I've kind of seen that a little bit already, just being on LinkedIn, and kind of the people I'm connected with on there are using it more. I think it's going to be really important in 2023 that you're on LinkedIn. I think it's going to be a huge platform to be sure you're using. So I want to talk a little bit about engagement on social platforms. Being engaged is one of the most important thing on any of the social platforms. So making sure that you're responding to comments. If somebody does comment on something, just reach out to them in their DMs. Say, hey, thank you for commenting. Are you interested in this? Blah, blah, blah. Just wanted to connect. Maybe we could grab coffee, something like that. DMs are becoming kind of the new texting. I don't know. I'm not sure where everybody else is at, but I have quite a few people that I have a younger sister who's 14, and her friends don't even exchange phone numbers anymore. They just DM each other. So it's kind of becoming the new thing, is as people are kind of moving on, it's just DMing instead of texting. If you are responding to a comment, or when you're responding to a comment, we'll just say when you respond to a comment, you need to make sure that it's 5 or more words. And it doesn't have to be overly complicated. It could just be, thank you so much for the comment, or I really agree with that. Just something simple. Make sure it's 5 words or more. And then one thing I do want to talk about as far as engagement is I've had a couple of people reach out to me about that super scary email that Facebook sent out about not being able to post listings in groups. That rule only applies to business pages specifically. So you can still share your listings on your business page. You can still use your business page as you've been using it. Nothing's changed there. The only thing that has changed is if you are posting as your business page, you cannot post in Marketplace any of your listings. However, if you want to use your personal page to post listings in Marketplace, you can still do that. So it's specific to Marketplace. They have put Marketplace as kind of its own little section in Facebook now, its own window, I guess. So just kind of remember, you aren't changing anything unless you've been posting your listings in Marketplace. And then you need to use your personal page. Hopefully that kind of clears things up. If not, feel free to reach out to me, and I will try to be a little bit more clear on that. Okay, so videos. I know that we shove videos down your throat all the time, but that is because videos are extremely important. Videos are the #1 way that people are engaging with their platforms now. I know when I'm on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram, all I want to do is just watch quick little videos. It's just kind of easy, quick entertainment. So a couple of tips when you are recording videos, it doesn't hurt to practice before you do it. And just remember that for the most part, your videos aren't going to be live. So practice as many times as you need. When you're recording, there are two things to remember. If you're going to be recording for a platform like YouTube, Google Business, LinkedIn, you want to make sure that your phone is horizontal. If you are recording for Facebook or Instagram, you want to have your phone vertical. The reason being is Facebook and Instagram, their Reels format now is all in this vertical way. So you want to make sure your phone is vertical for those recordings on Facebook and Instagram, and horizontal for everything else. I think that's going to take a little bit of getting used to, because we've always said horizontal for all videos, but Reels have been kind of changing the game. You want to make sure that you have good lighting. So like right now I have not great lighting. Half of my face is in shadow, and then half of it is kind of bright. So you want to make sure you have even lighting. Those ring lights are really great. I got a really nice camera phone stand at Target for like $25, I think it was. It has the ring light, it has the phone holder. It's really nice, easy to use, and I can start and stop my phone from a distance. It's nice. So just kind of consider that. Making sure you have really good sound quality. So sound quality isn't just making sure you have a mic, but it's also kind of your environment. So think about where you're recording. It's great to do those outside videos, but you probably don't want to go record outside in the middle of rush hour traffic, because you're going to get a lot of background noise that you really don't want in your video. Same thing, it's great to go record at your local dog park and things like that, but just remember that it's better to have that lapel mic that kind of picks you up more than your surroundings, and just kind of be conscientious about what's going on in the background. And then, like I said, you need to have a hook. Most people decide in 3 seconds or less if they're going to watch your video. So you want to make sure that you have something that's really eye-catching, or just really pulls them in right at the beginning. Like I said, a lot of people are starting kind of at the end of their videos and starting back at the beginning once they go through. So one thing I like to watch are those quick cooking clips. And one of the things I've noticed is they kind of start with the end product real quick, so you know what it's going to look like, and then they switch back around and show you the cooking process real quick. So you might start, you might start your video off with, I don't know, and that's how you buy a house. And then, you kind of go back around to the beginning, so that people are like, wait, what? How do I buy a house? And then they kind of get hooked in. I want to talk a little bit about editing. People are moving away from over edited and over polished videos. So a lot of people are worried about the way their videos are coming out, or the way they're looking, or they're like, this is really rough. Don't worry about that so much. People are wanting to feel connected now more than ever. I think the pandemic kind of really pushed that on people, just making sure that we want to feel like we are all together. And they want to feel like you're a real person, They don't want to feel like you're this wonderful, perfect human being, and then they're over here being like a trash can. So just don't over edit your videos. Make sure you're creating your videos for your platform. So like I talked about a little bit earlier, Instagram and Facebook are going to be kind of those short, quick, fast clips. YouTube, LinkedIn are going to be a little bit longer, a little bit more informative. And it doesn't hurt to have kind of a script or a format that you're going to follow, especially for those informative videos. You might want to start out with, hi, this is who I am, this is where I'm from, this is what we're going to talk about today, talk about it, and then, your call to action. So call me, DM me, here's my email, whatever you want to do, your call to action to me. But make sure that you are kind of following that script and know what you're going to say before you get on. And then the biggest thing I like to recommend to people is record your videos in batches. So you don't want to forget to record. You don't want to forget to record videos. Or, promise yourself you're going to record videos, and then you record one video and you don't do it again for 3 weeks, and then you record one video, and then for a month you don't do it again. Consistency is key. So I did a bunch of those social media tip videos. I did all of those in one day, and I just changed my shirt for every video so it didn't look like I did it in one day. So record in batches, and you probably don't even have to change your shirt. I just did that because I'm a little bit OCD on things like that, so I changed my shirt. But people probably aren't even going to notice if you're wearing the same shirt all the time. But record in batches, do a month's worth of video at one time so that you make sure that you have it and it's done, and then you can use it. And then one of the things that I was listening to in a podcast earlier this week, videos have 500% more staying power with people. So what that means is you're not just getting an image, you're getting an audio, you're getting a personality. So people are going to really remember your video because they're getting all of these senses covered rather than just a static graphic. All right, podcasts. I think I've already mentioned podcasts 2 or 3 times, just that I've personally listened to. I know Carrie and Todd are both big podcast people. A lot of my friends are podcast people. I listen to podcasts a lot while I'm at work because it's a good time for me to have that background noise, and I can kind of get that information and kind of pull it in, and it's just a really good time for me to also be learning and working at the same time. And I think podcasts are becoming more and more accessible, and more people are doing them. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to consider doing a podcast if you are, if you want to be out there relevant in podcasts, I guess. I didn't know where that sentence was going. I'm so sorry. So one of the things you can do is you can actually use those longer videos that you record for YouTube and LinkedIn, and you can upload those sound clips as a podcast. So if you're doing those videos, you already have your podcast put together. So you might as well put a podcast in since you're already doing your videos. When you're doing your podcast, it's great to invite guests. That way it's not just you talking all the time, but you have kind of that back and forth banter, those things that you're talking about. Podcasts typically have a niche. So like you're a crime podcaster, you're a local expert podcaster, you're a social media podcaster, you have your kind of like area that you cover as a podcaster. So kind of think about, are you a luxury agent and you want to talk about like getting into the luxury market? Are you really passionate about selling condo spaces? Anything like that, you kind of have are you really passionate about like staging homes? Maybe you want to talk about, the selling process and staging homes, but kind of make sure that your podcast isn't all over the place. You're not just talking one day about like, hey, here's the weather in Bozeman, but also like, this is this going on. Make sure it's kind of a consistent bubble and they all kind of relate to each other. And then if you do decide you're going to do a podcast, you need to be consistent. Again, consistency is one of the biggest things with social media. People follow people that are consistent because they know they're going to be getting that content that they like regularly. If you're not consistent, you're not going to gain followers and you're not going to keep followers because they're not going to know what to expect from you. So like one of my favorite podcasts, I know every Monday and every Thursday they're going to have new episodes, and I'm excited about it because I know Mondays, Thursdays, those are their episodes. It's consistent. I know when I'm going to listen to them, and it's fantastic. So be consistent, pick your days, make sure you're following through. I do want to talk about emails really quick. Email is one of the biggest ways to connect with people. I really encourage you guys to build out your email list. And don't be afraid to email people, and don't be afraid to put a hook in there. So I would recommend emailing people 1 time a week. Again, I listened to a great podcast earlier this week just about emailing people and how it's one of the #1 ways to reach people. I know I obsessively check my email, not just my work email, but my personal email. I'm probably checking it 5 or 6 times a day just to make sure that like I didn't miss anything important. So people are checking their email. They are going to open it if they are interested in what you have to say. So that subject line should be a really good hook to draw them in. But again, don't be afraid to email people. When people are ready, they will open those emails, and you can kind of see when people are opening them. Make sure that when you're putting things in your email, it's visually appealing. So embed those GIFs, embed videos, put images in there, and link them to your social media pages. I actually hadn't thought about this until I was listening to a podcast earlier, but it makes a lot of sense to link to your socials rather than linking to just a generic YouTube, especially like your Facebook or Instagram, because they're going to be able to link to that, go back, follow you, see all of your previous content, and kind of see like, oh, they're a consistent poster of videos that are engaging to me, and I want to follow them, and I know that I'm going to see their content every Wednesday. So just kind of keep that in mind and build out those emails, like I said, once a week. And we have a lot of content in CBIQ that you can use to send to your contacts and sign them up to get them on that kind of once a week consistent emailing. Okay, so keywords, hashtags, and tagging. So one of the biggest things I want to go over is the difference between keywords and hashtags. They are not the same. So keywords are going to be anything in your captions or descriptions that are going to trigger your SEO. So that's going to be saying things like Grand Junction or Bozeman or real estate or luxury house or horse property, things like that that are going to be keywords that people are going to be searching for in Google, searching for on different platforms. So that's what a keyword is. A hashtag is going to be specific to that platform. So that's going to be if somebody is searching on Instagram for real estate, they're going to get the real estate hashtags as one of their options. So it's going to put it into kind of a category. So it's not going to do anything for you really on the web itself. It's just going to be something to increase your potential engagement within the actual platform. So one of the things that I want to mention is making sure that you are localizing your hashtags and keywords to the areas you're targeting and your feeder markets. So again, make sure you're putting keywords in there that draw on your local and feeder markets and hashtags that draw on your local and feeder markets. And don't get too specific or too general with your hashtags. You want to kind of be in the middle. So too specific is going to be like, hashtag blue house in Grand Junction. That's way too specific. I don't think anybody's going to be searching hashtag blue house in Grand Junction. But hashtag GJ Homes, however, is going to be a little bit more in the middle. It's not oversaturated, so it's not too general, but it's not undersaturated where nobody's going to find it. Too general is going to be kind of hashtag real estate. Millions of people are hashtagging real estate, so it's going to get lost. I wouldn't recommend cutting it out of your post, but I wouldn't recommend just using that one specifically. And then tagging, every platform allows you to do kind of a tag of somebody else. So if you are promoting a local business or you are with another person or a lender or something like that, make sure you're tagging them because then you're not only reaching your audience, but you're reaching their audience as well. So you're going to get more people with eyes on your post. And then if you are in Instagram or Facebook, you can tag your location, which is great because once you have that geotag on there, it kicks into the algorithm and they know to show that to people that are kind of in that area. Okay, so some good resources. Online, we have updated the Change Lives Academy website. So there is a resource library that has all of our links to videos, to PDF documents, different web page resources, like I said, videos, all of those things. It's a really great use right now. And then, of course, this marketing@cbdistinctive.com, that will reach your entire marketing team. So if you're not sure which person does what, email everybody and we will figure it out from there. All right, so that is all I had. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat and we can go over those from there. All right. Yes, Sarah, we will not use trash cans. Perfect. I'm not seeing any questions. So I'm hoping that that was helpful for everybody. And let's see. Oh, okay. Jessica, what if you do not feel safe sharing your location? So when I say sharing your location, it's going to be a little bit more general. It's not going to be specifically an address. So you might just tag your location as like, you can just tag Grand Junction in general. So it's not super specific. You don't have to tag like, I'm at this coffee shop right now if you don't want to. So I would say if you're not safe tagging yourself at a specific location, I would go a little bit more general and do, like downtown or, something like that, where it's kind of still targeting that general area, but it's not super specific. So hopefully that helps. Oh yeah, and the VIP campaign, next month, we are going to be rolling out a VIP campaign. It's going to be something that you can sign your contacts up for, and what it's going to do is automatically add them to quarterly reports, newsletters. The holiday campaign, it's going to add them to our VIP campaign blast, which has specific real estate information, and then it is going to add some local content in there for you as well. And then, Joni, I will be sharing this slide deck with you. So it'll have all of that, and then I will send out a recording of the video, so you'll have all of that information that way. And then don't forget that we do have that monthly marketing calendar as well that we will be sending out. So February's will come out next week, so you'll have all of that information as well. All right. And I think I got everybody. If you come up with questions later, again, you can send that marketing email out. I'll post the video to Inside Track and link the slide deck underneath in the comments. So just kind of check for it there. And I hope you guys have a great Friday and an awesome weekend. Thank you guys.